traders. This is Day Trader Matt with businesswithtrading.com doing an E-mini trading room recap for the 6th of August, Wednesday. And today was another great day in the markets. Today we had 3 trades. We were 3-0 and pulled 10 points out. So a very, very good day. Our first trade was actually a long down here, which in hindsight was a beautiful long. We did exit a little early, but hindsight is always 20/20. We got long down here when we got out up here. The market came up, turned down, and it just took off from there. Our next trade was a short up here, which we were able to take a little profit on. And then our final trade was a long right over here. We were able to take some profit on it and basically call it a day. Price did come up a little bit. We talked a little bit about maybe making this trade. It really didn't really look that great when it chopped around up here. Then it finally did take off into 12 o'clock. I was okay with that. But, all in all, it was a good day. 10 points on 3 trades. Always a good time and always really good for the P&L. And, it's just goes around with what I always say, try to be as consistent as possible. If you're not really sure what the market's telling you, there's no reason to place a trade. Yesterday we made 1 3/4 points just because, wasn't really sure what the market was telling me, and the trades that I tried to take, the market ran away from us. And you have to be okay with that. Being okay with that is a lot easier said than done. I know that because I, had to relearn and unlearn a few things in order to become a trader. Because trading is very psychological. And to be able to become a trader, some of the barriers you might have inside your mind, you're going to have to get rid of. So me, talking about being consistent, talking about taking setups that look good, it's all well and good for me to say that, but, are, you guys watching this video able to actually do that? It really kind of is a catch-22, because trading is definitely a lot of hard work. It's very, very difficult, and that's why I always relate it to like becoming a brain surgeon or something like that, because it's something that's going to take years and years of work. I always say, if you struggled for 3 to 5 years, and then at the end of that time you were able to make a decent income, would it be worth it? How much would that income have to be? How much struggling are you willing to do? I'm not saying live in a van down by the river while you're trading on your laptop from the neighboring hotel's Wi-Fi. Not that type of struggle. I know that's usually what comes to my mind when I talk about the word struggle. But I just mean struggling, like making a little money here, losing a little money there. Maybe you don't maybe you blow up a couple accounts here and there. And being able to do that, are you going to be able to take that mentally? Because it does add a lot of mental anguish having to deal with that. Making a lot of money, losing a lot of money, making money, losing money. You're just in that cycle. So that's definitely something that you really have to think about as a trader. And usually, the first few months, first year is going to be like that. There's going to be a cycle. And then once you finally get it, you'll start breaking even consistently. And then you go into the next level of trading, which is making a little money. You're not making a lot, but you're making a little bit. You can make a couple thousand trips to the dollar store at the end of the year, or the dollar menu, something like that. And then trading definitely gets a lot better from there. But those are the 3 main levels that you have to go through in order to become a decent trader, and then you become successful after that. So anyway, hopefully that made sense to you a little bit. You got something out of what I was talking about. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here in the markets. Thank you.